Welcome to my channel, students. Today we are going to see fraction chapter. What does mean by fraction? Fraction means from the whole we are dividing. That is called fraction. So fraction means from the whole. This is the whole part. From the whole part we are dividing. This is called fraction. So if the diagram is given like this, how we can write for this fraction? So total, how much divided? 1, 2, 3, 4. The total you can write it as denominator. Total you should write denominator. And how much is shaded? How much is shaded? That you should write in the numerator. So by this way you should write the fraction. We'll see one more example. If some diagram is given, so for this diagram, how we can write the fraction? For this diagram, how we can write the fraction means, as I already told, total, how much is divided? Total, you should write in denominator. So in the denominator, total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, you can write it in the denominator. Totally 6 parts is there. In that, how many parts they used? 1, 2, 3. So totally 3 they used, right? So 3 by 6. You can reduce it. So 1 3s are 3, 2 3s are 6. So by this way, you can find the fraction. So what does mean by fraction? Fraction means from the whole we are dividing equally. So from the whole we are dividing, that is called fraction. Now we can see the types of fraction. What are the types of fraction is there? So types of fraction. So what are the types of fraction means? Proper fraction, proper fraction, improper fraction, improper fraction, mixed fraction, like fraction, and like fraction. So what are the types of fraction means? Proper fraction, improper fraction, mixed fraction, like fraction, unlike fraction, equivalent fraction. Equivalent fraction. So these are the types of fraction. We can see one by one. So what does mean by proper fraction? Proper fraction means numerator must be smaller. Numerator must be smaller when you compare denominator. Okay. So what should be proper mean? Numerator must be smaller. Numerator must be smaller when you compare denominator. Okay. So this is called fraction. Before that, we need to know what is mean by numerator and what is mean by denominator, right? So when a line is there, okay, so the line below, it is called as denominator. The total part we are writing, right? That is called denominator. So the line above we are writing, right? That is called numerator. So the line below total part, that is called denominator. The line above, how much we used, that is called numerator. So now we know fraction means like this only will be. Okay. So now proper means numerator must be smaller when compared to denominator. So example, how it can be means. So 7 by 10. You check this, numerator is smaller, right? When you compare denominator, numerator is smaller. So this type of fraction is called proper fraction. Next, improper fraction. What is meant by improper fraction? Is just opposite to the proper. Okay. Here, numerator must be greater. Numerator must be greater than denominator. So example, how it can be means. So it's 12 by something, any number, 7. See here, numerator is big, greater. Numerator is greater than the denominator. So this type of fraction is called improper fraction. Next, mixed fraction. What is meant by mixed fraction? Means whole number should be there plus fraction should be there. Whole number should be there plus fraction should be there. This is called mixed fraction. So example, how it can be means 7, 1 by 5. Any example. So 7 is whole number and 1 by 5 is fraction. So fraction will be like the numerator and denominator. Like this will be, right? So that is called fraction. So mixed fraction means whole number should be there and fraction should be there. This is called mixed fraction. Next, like fraction. How it will be like fraction means same denominator. If the fraction has same denominator. If the fraction has same denominator, that is called like fraction. So example, how it will be like fraction. Example, 7 by 2, 5 by 2. See now, two fractions. We are comparing two fractions. In the two fractions, denominator is same. Denominator is 2, 2, right? So denominator is same. Numerator may be there. If the denominator is same, then you can say that is like fraction. Unlike fraction, just opposite to like fraction. So unlike fraction means different denominator. Different denominator. So different denominators is called unlike fraction. So example, 7 by 3, 5 by 2, something, any number. See here, denominator is different, right? So this is called unlike fraction. Next, what is meant by equivalent fraction? Equivalent fraction means when you compare two fractions, the two fractions after reducing, it should be equal. That is called equivalent fraction. So example, suppose if you are taking 1 by 2, comma, okay. So, and the questions they may ask like this, 1 by 2, comma 4 by 8 or equivalent fraction. So let me ask, right? So 1 by 2, comma 4 by 8 is equivalent fraction or not. So how we can tell whether this is equivalent fractions or not means one which cannot be reduced, we leave it as it is that fraction. And the next fraction, you should be reduced. So 1 4s are 4, 2 4s are 8. So after reducing this fraction 1 by 2 and the next fraction is also 1 by 2. So when both the fractions are equal, then you can say this is equivalent fraction. Okay. So these are the types of fraction. Proper means numerator must be small. Numerator must be smaller than the denominator. Improper means numerator must be big. Mixed means whole number plus fraction should be there. Like means same denominator. That is called like fraction. Unlike fraction means denominator should be different. So if the denominator is different, then you can tell this is unlike fraction. Equivalent fraction means after reducing after reducing, both the fractions should be equal. That is called equivalent